Okay, in the last video then we just talked about some of the problems with surveys and some of the things you got to avoid when you're making your surveys. So again, from above, we're talking about bias and some of the bias that sneaks into them. So the second example here is the correction. So this is what this survey looks like fully corrected. Maybe I'll go to full screen here. So you can see the differences and the improvements here. So for example, that top, it just says election survey. No sponsor. Okay, so we took that sponsorship right out, and you don't want that in a survey. Next, the example I have went to a homeroom number instead of doing grade. For our system, this is more for an American system, we could just put grade in, and the student then could write it in. So depending on what grade they're in. And then finally, on the election, again, Rebecca, if you remember, Rebecca was bolded. What we've done now, so student writes grade. Put this in here for your note. And this one, we not only took the bolding away from Rebecca, we have now put it in alphabetical order. So no bold. And alphabetic order. And alphabetic order. So that it's less biased again. So not only taking out that bolding, but it's also getting rid of that. Now this I want, they changed it. The example the book gave, they switched it to change to an open question. I really don't think it's necessary to go to open question. What I'd like to see, though, is more options, and let's not state the obvious, because as we said before, everyone wants to have more fun, so there's no sense putting that in there. Perhaps putting, and the way they've got it worded, the way they have it worded, it's just fine. In my opinion, student council priorities should be, but then I would go to a list question or ranking question and list all the things that you think are important. All right, so this is kind of what the exercise will be. Once you have surveys made, you're going to have to switch with a partner, and you're going to have to look at it, and you need to make sure we avoid bias. So that's going to be one of the tasks we have coming up. And I got some examples for you to work on in the homework. And finally, here we go with a very large survey here, and I just want to talk about some of the problems with this particular survey. So very similar to the other exercise, except this one, it's a full survey. So we want to get rid of a bias. So student survey on environmental support. So anything biased with the title, student survey tells you it's for students, and it's about environmental support, so that's okay. Sponsored by the green team. Again, we do not want sponsorship in surveys. All right. Because what it does is it biases people. So get rid of the sponsorship. What is your homeroom? In our system, and I'll switch it again. In Canada, we go by grade. Americans, there are some that go by homeroom instead. So question 2, on a scale of 1 to 5, to what degree is your homeroom teacher environmentally conscious? Sort of, medium, and wow. So what the problem with this particular one, and maybe some of you see it already, what happens if the teacher is not environmentally conscious? What if teacher is not? Because this indicates that the teacher will be at some way environmentally conscious. So really 1 should read not at all. Not at all. Okay, that's what it really should read, not sort of. All right, now you don't even have to read this next question. And what's one of the problems? People who have created a survey, they went ahead and they bolded the correct answer. All right, do not bold the correct answer. Do not tell the person how they should answer. So when you finish a can of pop in the cafeteria, you put it in the recycling bin. According to the environmental team, that's the right answer, but you can't bold it. Toss it in the regular garbage, deposit it under the table. And as a teacher and making recommendations to you, I wouldn't put this one in. Remove this option. Because I would assume that everyone here does one of two things with the garbage can. Okay, they may put it in the garbage can, but that's fine, or they put it in the recycling. You don't leave your garbage out, so I would take that out altogether. All right, I wouldn't even have it as an option. Number 4, your family saves water by taking showers instead of baths, putting a brick in the toilet tank, washing dishes once a week. What happens if your answer is not there? So I don't have an answer. So what you've done is you've provided 3 answers, and there's not an answer for everyone. You should be putting in a question like, our family does not save water, or put other to cover all the missing ones, because that's pretty limited, only 3 options on how to save. All right, so number 5, you want to join the school environmental club. A whole lot, if you had more free time, only for Earth Walk event. So, guess what? According to this survey, you can't say no. All right. So, do you want to join the environmental club? Your options was a whole lot. If you had more time, which means that yes, I still want to, but I'm too busy. And the third one is only on certain days. There's no I don't want to join option, or I'm not interested option. It makes you biased in the sense that everyone should be interested in doing this. Number 6, environmental topics should be addressed across all curriculum, so that's all courses. And you know what? We don't like the wording there, right? Okay, tough wording, because not everyone's going to know what the word curricula means. All right. In fact, it's probably only teachers that understand what curricula means. B part says especially in science and geography, in every math course, or all of the above. So guess what? There's no option. They said you should be doing environment in all courses. So you have no option to say, shouldn't have to do it in all courses. They're saying, hey, you got to be doing it in some course, so they've provided it in there. So you got to provide that not at all option as well. Question number 7, your attitude toward improving the environment is highly supportive, mostly supportive, supportive. Excuse me. So what if you're not supportive? What if not supportive? All right. What happens if you want to say, I don't support the environment at all? Okay. You don't have a place to answer there. So not a very good question, or not very good answers, I guess. The question is fine, but the answers aren't. Number 8, Canada needs more toxic waste dumps. Now, I may not be up on environment, so if I'm reading this and I see the word toxic waste, right away I'm like, no, I don't want more toxic waste dumps, even if I have no clue what they are. So it's biased, because everyone here associates the word toxic with bad. All right, so anyone who says agree, who's going to say, yeah, I want more toxic waste dumps? So it's not the appropriate wording for that question. And finally, number 9, based on the graph shown, do you agree that more adults are doing their part for the environment? And my question here, this is okay. I don't see anything wrong with this, but what is this right here? Okay, what is this graph proving? Strong support on weekends. It's wasted space, wasted information. Okay, should not be included. Should not be included. All right. And then why do you think so? Again, that's fine. But the graph is misplaced. So this is obviously, the survey was set up to fail, so it was easier for us to go through and find examples in the survey itself. So we knew that it was not the best survey to follow. So end of the video here. You're gonna be thinking more and more about what your survey is going to look like. picking a topic, and so on and so forth. So we're going to pick this up in the next video.